After days of controversy and protests, Indiana Governor Mike Pence says changes are coming to the state's religious objections law. Here's what he said just moments ago.
I think it would be helpful, and I'd like to see on my desk before the end of this week legislation that is added to the Religious Freedom Restoration Act in Indiana that makes it clear that this law does not give businesses a right to deny services to anyone.
And the governor adds that he's requesting new legislation making it clear the law doesn't allow the denial of services to anyone. So how are Indiana's troubles being seen by the GOP? With a look at the chatter from Washington, we're joined now by WSJ Washington Deputy Bureau Chief Tim Hanrahan. Tim, thanks so much for being with us.
Hey, good to be here.
So, Tim, Governor Pence has been on the defensive since signing this legislation. How are these troubles seen by Republican insiders in Washington?
Well, you know, there was a huge uproar when this bill was signed, and I think it kind of caught the governor by surprise. You know, so far some 2016 candidates or would-be candidates like Jeb Bush and Ted Cruz are praising the governor for signing this religious bill, saying it protects the religious rights of Hoosiers and is sort of in line with broader Republican thinking about the role of religion in society and the role of the free choice of religion. However, this massive backlash has made this sort of fraught with peril, as a lot of people saw this as an attack on gay rights and the ability of gay couples, for instance, to get wedding materials arranged and things like that. So it's a delicate situation. The governor tried to diffuse it a bit today, saying, "Look, this bill's been misunderstood, but I'm going to fix it anyway." And that's sort of where things stand right now.
Do we know whether the governor went far enough to mollify the critics? It doesn't seem that he laid out any specific steps.
Well, it seems what he said today is, by the end of this week, I want a bill on my desk that clarifies. He kept saying clarify, and that's what Indiana politicians have been saying the last couple of days as this backlash kind of swept through the country. You had a lot of, CEOs, from Apple's CEO to Angie's List CEO, saying, Indiana really worries us with this law. So he said by the end of this week, I need a bill. The Final Four is being played in Indianapolis. Conventions are a huge business for the state and for the city. So it seems like he's taking a step in that direction. The Democrats in Indiana say, wait, we should just repeal this entire bill. It's flawed from the get-go. So we'll see in the next couple days how this shakes out.
Right now, as you said, Indiana faced the criticism right away from big business as well as politicians, celebrities. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff was among the first to speak out against the law. Then, like you said, followed by Apple CEO Tim Cook, NCAA President Mark Emmert. The governor of Connecticut and several big city mayors even banned office travel to Indiana. So does this firestorm point to more troubles ahead for the GOP, particularly the presidential contenders?
Well, it cuts both ways because, if you're a GOP candidate, you may feel, look, religion is one of our core issues. This helps show that we're strong on religious freedom. On the other hand, the gay rights movement has had a lot of huge victories. Public opinion has shifted dramatically in the last few years on issues like gay marriage. So it is a really delicate topic, and often there are conflicts between legitimate conflicts between someone saying, my religion says I shouldn't do this or I can't do that, against the rights of other Americans to, freely buy certain goods or have certain services. So it is a conflict that, despite the governor's efforts today, won't be resolved anytime soon.
Sure. I mean, if you look back at history, obviously bigamy was outlawed, even though it was at one point something that could have been protected under religious freedom laws. So obviously history has something to say on the matter as well.
Yeah, and people's, opinions of a lot of things in America have shifted over the years. It's ultimately it's up to the voters to decide, come 2016, or Indiana voters more locally decide if, where they fall on this fairly complicated issue right now.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Tim, for that.